Jesus is on the move again, and it's always in the Gospel of Luke, providing help and healing to anyone in need. He continues to attempt to help his disciples see the importance of ministry, which is meeting the needs of others. And our Savior delivers each day, gives new meaning to life, allows for multiple chances, and cannot go by someone without lending them a hand. He's so compassionate and loving that when he sees a need, his only response is to meet that need. And my hope today is that you do have a need and you are not ashamed to bring your needs to him, because Jesus is more than willing to turn around what is attempted to keep you bound. This woman in our text is never given a name. She's defined by her condition. No family is mentioned, and all we know about her is that she has a condition that has bothered and hampered her life, hear me, for 18 long years. And I'm going to say it again because of the climate of the day. No name is given, and we only know her by her ailment. And I wrestled with this scenario because I just wonder if we continue to identify individuals by what they go through, or what conditions they have, the illnesses they deal with, then maybe we never fully get to know them. And I believe that Jesus wants us to move from being identified or judged by a condition, that people will stop looking at her by what she has and start to look at her for what she brings to the table. And I just wonder on a Sunday morning, can you agree that labels can be destructive, can cause more problems than good, will make others shy away from us because they know our condition before they know our names? And I'm simply suggesting, Mount Airy, that Jesus wants us to know each other by name. And that alleviates some of the alienation or isolation that we may feel when we're going through seasons of pain. Can I help you this Sunday morning? This sister comes from a family. She has parents. She has relatives, friends in the community, co-workers or former co-workers, people who knew her on the outside. But when we meet her in the text, none of those things are brought to light. All we know is that she has a condition, not accompanied by her first, middle, or last name. Bothers me because she's just like some of us, and we've allowed the labels and the identifiers to derail our destiny to the point that when others see us, they see our condition and relegate us to an illness, and they never address us by name. And I suspect that each time Jesus finds himself in the midst of persons with various conditions, his nature is to bring wholeness to brokenness, health to illness, joy to pain, hope to despair, and life to death or situations that seems to be dying. Can I just take my time? Because all of us here today can remember a time in which life hit us so hard, literally and figuratively, that it knocked the breath out of us, and our only recourse was Jesus. And if you can identify with me today, then I need for you to talk back to me. And if you're not there, just keep living, because life has a way of sometimes catching us off guard, or at other times allowing us to live with conditions that we thought now should have been worked out. You can agree that there are some things that you thought by now should have been resolved, some problems that should have answers, questions that could have been worked out by now. And I suggest what is long to Jesus may not belong to us at all. And I'm glad that she knew something about encouraging herself, because she did not wait for others to recognize or acknowledge her. But she came to church and worshiped in her condition. Matter of fact, she got up, bent over, put on her clothes, bent over, washed her face, bent over, pulled up her stockings, bent over, got in her car, bent over, and made her way to church in a bent over condition. And what bothers me is some of us are not bent over in any way. But yet and still, we find ways to complain about things that are really nothing to complain about. I hope I'm talking to somebody this morning. You've been complaining about raindrops, but your neighbor has been living through a storm. You've been complaining about minor problems, but there are folk on your pew. If they just told you half their story, you would run up out of this sanctuary. Can I tell you, she lived life in a bit over condition, and hear me, she lived this way for so long that she assumed that being bent over was normal. Can I tell you what she did and what many of us do? She began to accept an abnormality as if it were or normality. All I'm trying to say on this Sunday morning is that because life bent her over for 18 long years, that maybe she never thought about what life could be if she could stand straight up. Who am I talking to this morning? Maybe you've lived in a situation for so long that you have no clue of what standing straight up is like. And on this morning, there are some believers with conditions that could have allowed you to stay at home, but instead you got up, put on your clothes, and said, I would rather be in church, whether in person or online, rather than sitting home having my own personal pity party. She makes her way to worship, and when she gets to church, she's not disappointed, because today she's not just happy and excited to be with the saints one more time. She's just happy because God allowed her, even in a bent over condition, to allow her to wake up, put one foot in front of the other, able to open her mouth, able to walk, talk, hear, see, taste, and smell, even in a bent over condition. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Can I help somebody in the building? I don't care if you're bent over emotionally, bent over financially, bent over mentally, whatever your condition is, keep coming to Jesus. And I hear you this morning. You're saying, Pastor or preacher, you don't know what I've been through. You can't imagine the nights that I can't fall asleep. But I tell you, this sister helps us. Because even if she's been over, she makes her way to church because she wants to hear the word. And I don't know who I'm talking to, but you told yourself that I can't live like this any longer. I just don't feel like it anymore. I'm tired, and I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And every time I turn around, if it's not one thing, it's another. Sister teaches us encouragement because from the inside, she's allowing her inside not to affect her outside. You know why I say that? Because after 18 years of living with a sickness, she had to have inner fortitude to press her way to church. And I believe her inner woman spoke to her and strengthened her so that she would not allow her condition to keep her down. All I'm saying is that what's on the inside will have a profound effect on what's on the outside. And I can say it this way: what has been keeping you together has nothing to do with the outside, but it all has to do with the inner man and the inner woman. That's the reason why you get up. That's the reason why you wave your hand in worship, because you know something's working on the inside even when the outside looks jacked up. Who can agree with me today that just because the outside in this season may be chaotic, out of control, the wind is blowing, but can I tell you, you still have inner peace? You didn't wave the flag of surrender. Now, I believe this sister can be a Hallmark card with her picture on the front of it, and the caption can say, "Don't allow your outward condition to disrupt your inner peace." Okay, let me say that again. Don't allow your outward condition to disrupt your inner peace. I wish you could tap your neighbor, but if you can, just look at them even through the mask and smile. Tell them you can make it even if you don't feel like it. She teaches us some valuable lessons on encouragement and does not permit her illness to take precedent over her praise. We know that she's in church. She's been sick for 18 years. And the writer gives us a clear picture. He said she's bent over and cannot straighten up. And I thought it was odd that the writer describes her sickness with such specificity because it leaves us with no questions. I'll say it again. She's bent over and cannot straighten up. I'll say it one more time. She's bent over and she cannot straighten up, but she's in church. And has your life ever felt like it's had you bent over and you couldn't straighten up? I need at least 5 of you to agree with me that you lived or you're living through a season that has attempted to bend you over and not allow you to straighten up. The loss of the loved one, the hurt from a broken relationship, the results of a medical exam, the out of nowhere call that still has you wanting to lay in the bed with the covers over your head, the child that keeps you on your knees, the job that has you looking forward to the weekend when you clock in on Monday, because who's stationed around you, and can I tell you, the list goes on and on. And I just want you to know that life can beat us up so bad that sometimes we're like the woman in the text. We're bent over and we can't seem to straighten up. And I want to testify and help someone. I know what it feels like to be bent over. I know what it feels like to not be able to straighten up. But can I tell you, better is on the way. Because I just believe that no one has to live in a condition forever. Because what some of us deem as permanent, it is just temporary. And I stopped by on this Sunday morning because I just believe that some of us have made permanent resident in places that are supposed to be temporary. Who am I talking to this morning? A cold is temporary. Sickness is temporary. But the peace of God is eternal. Can I tell you, a boyfriend or a girlfriend is temporary, but a loving relationship with Jesus is eternal. A headache and a heartache are temporary, but when you have Jesus, it is permanent. Let me see if I can help you. Stop making temporary stops your permanent residence. Okay, y'all. Okay. Stop treating temporary people as if they're going to be permanent people in your life. Okay, y'all just not gonna talk to me on this Sunday morning. I'll just preach to myself. A boyfriend or a girlfriend is temporary, but a loving relationship in a marriage should be permanent. Okay, y'all just ain't gonna say nothing to me. A dead-end job is temporary, but a career can be permanent. Some of us have made things permanent that was supposed to be temporary. How does Jesus handle her case? Well, the first thing he does, and I love it, he recognizes her.